Today, we are doing a very special thing, something we've never really done before, and that is a Pokemon themes tier list. Oh shit! Of the old Pokemon Grunt battle themes, and also I guess Plumeria and Mars are on here too, but those are different themes, so we're not ranking those, but they're on here because this isn't a tier list that I created necessarily. So we're ranking the Grunt themes. You got your Team Rocket themes, your Team Magma, Team Aqua sort of stuff. I don't know if any of them will fall in not pleasing to my ears though. I have that there just in case. Most of them will probably end up in these first three tiers. I don't expect many of them to be bad. Starting things off, you've got the classic Team Rocket from Gold, Silver, and Crystal. That was really the first time we got a specific like evil team theme, because there wasn't one in Red, Blue, and Yellow. It was just like the trainer theme or whatever. Let's take a listen to it. This one's such a classic. It's such a classic, dude. It's such a classic. They did a lot of things right with this theme. Always an absolute classic. It's very nostalgic for me. But like nostalgia aside, it's not like the most like cracked Grunt battle theme ever or anything. But it's definitely just like a really solid tune, and I feel like that puts it in the solid bop category for sure. It's a solid bop. It's a fun song. It has that sort of like, it's got these sort of like evil tones to it, but it's also like, it's still kind of fun in a way. So that's a solid bop for sure. The next theme is the basically remastered version of that in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. The sound font in Heart Gold and Soul Silver is always fun, so I'm curious to see how it stacks up against the original. Honestly, I mean, it's, you know, it's pretty much right on track, I would say. It's very similar to the original. I wouldn't say it's like miles better or any worse. It's just really good. It's a really good theme. I like some of the extra musical elements that they were able to add in that one, given the, you know, the larger depth of like musical capabilities that the DS offered. So I really like it. It's close to like Fonky Chonky for me, and it might make its way up there. For now, I'm going to put it just above the original one because I think it's better. But again, not like miles better. So overall, just a really solid start here for both of those themes. So the next theme, before we get into the Gen 3 themes, we have the Rainbow Rocket. The Team Rainbow Rocket, which came back in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. We haven't gotten to this part in our like Ultra Sun Nuzzle as of this. We haven't gotten to that. So let's take a look, or I guess a listen. Let's take a listen to how this one sounds. This is from Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. This one's so interesting. It almost sounds like a Gen 8 theme instead of like a Gen 7 theme. This one's kind of cool. This theme is really neat. I don't really know how else to like describe it. It's just it's a really neat take on the original like Team Rocket theme. I enjoy it. It's a very similar but also very different feel from the Gen 2 and Gen 4 versions of that. I don't know if I like it more than the Heart Gold Soul Silver version. Do I like it more than I might like it more than the Gold and Silver version now. It might be in the middle of these. Yeah, I think that's in the middle there. I think it's in the middle of those two. But they're all three very similar. I mean, they're all three the same theme technically, so that makes sense. But like nostalgia-wise, I really like the original. But like putting them all against each other, like they're all like neck and neck, just barely like separated, which is why they're all in this solid bop tier. So now we've got the Gen 3 themes. We got the original Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Team Magma, Aqua theme. So let's take a listen to that one. I've always liked this theme. This one's a little hard for me to rank because I've always liked this one because I don't know if it necessarily needs more oomph. I feel like it's actually pretty good for like a grunt theme. Like it's not like too menacing, but it like gives that sort of feeling of okay, like I gotta kind of like focus up a little bit, you know. I just think musically the theme works really well. There's a lot of cool ideas in it. This one also might just be like a solid bop. I think it might be on a similar tier to the other three themes we've already ranked. Which is kind of, you know, to put 4 themes in the same category to start, you know, is a choice. I don't feel like it needs more. I think it does a good job of being like a grunt theme, you know? Like if this was like a leader theme, it'd be a little different. But like just being a grunt theme, like it's catchy. I don't get like sick of the theme. So I'm curious to see how the remaster, the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire version of this theme does. Because I don't remember how that one sounds off the top of my head compared to the original. Let's take a listen to that one. I'm really curious to see how this one sounds, just to refresh my memory. Oh yeah, I like how they did this part. This one's pretty good. I like that, I think, more than the original. And what's weird is like I love the original Gen 3 sound font. So it's like hard for me to like go against that one, you know? Like it's hard for me to be like, yeah, no, like this is just the best because of the sound font alone. But like I really like what they did in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire there. This might be the first Funky Chonky. I just think that's a really good grunt theme. Musically works really well. It's not like overbearing. It doesn't feel like it's trying to do too much. Feels just like a really solid improvement over the original one here. For now, it's going to be up there. So now we've got the Gen 4 theme, which unfortunately on this tier list, it's just the original one, but I'll talk about the, I guess I'll talk about the remaster version of it. But we'll again start with the original Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum Team Galactic theme. This theme's great. I love the Team Galactic theme. I think it's super catchy. It is super catchy. It gets stuck in your head easily, but it's also got like these like menacing tones throughout the whole thing. It's a really neat theme. I think musically, it's one of like my favorite themes. Just the way it flows, how the song rises and falls and like builds itself back up. Like, I think it's a really, really good theme. I don't want to like overrate it right away. I mean, this is definitely funky chonky. It might move up to absolute banger because I really do like this theme, but we'll see. For now, I'll put it at the top of funky chonky, and we will move it up later if we feel so inclined. We're gonna take a look at the remakes. We'll see how that looks compared to the original. Yeah, I mean, that one's still, I mean, it's, you know, it's a remaster of an already really good theme. So, I mean, it's still a great theme. I don't think it's as good as the original. I've talked about this in previous tier lists before. I think the unnecessary addition of constant boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats in the background with drums is very unnecessary, and it's a thing they started doing in like Gen 6. That's just like, there's always drum set in the background of songs now, and it's just like, sometimes they get it right and they know like when to cut the drums out, but some of the instrumentation choices are also kind of meh. So I would say if I were gonna put it somewhere, it would probably be in like solid bop. It would be in the solid bop category. It's definitely not still funky chonky to me personally, but it would be probably somewhere in the middle of it. It wouldn't be far off. Let's just put it that way. The next one is, I'll just tell you now, I'm a little biased because this is just going into it one of my favorite ones. You will see why though. It's a pretty incredible theme. So let's take a listen. It's so good, dude. It is a very, very nicely done Grunt battle theme. I've always liked this one, and like I didn't even play the black and white games until like 6 years ago. I didn't really grow up with this theme. This is just like, I remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, oh, this one's good. This is a really, really good one. I think it works really well as a Grunt theme. Again, a common theme with the themes that are done right are the ones that aren't trying to do too much. I think that's a key with a lot of like Grunt themes. A theme that you're gonna hear a bunch of times in a playthrough, right? Is like, have it be catchy, but don't do too much with it, because you want to just like be okay with listening to it, so, or almost casually. Like, again, you're gonna have to hear it over and over again in these playthroughs. So you got to make sure it's not just this like overwhelming, like, oh my God, there's too much happening here. For me, it's an absolute banger personally, just with how catchy it is. That like, like that whole thing is so catchy to me. Like every time I hear it when I'm playing the game, it's great. I really, really like the Team Plasma theme. This is the Black and White 2 Neo Team Plasma battle music. From what I remember liking this one even more than the original, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's take a listen together. Okay, this is so easy. This is absolute banger for fucking sure. Oh my god, dude! I forgot how great this theme is. Holy shit! Oh, dude, this theme kicks so much ass. This one gets me so pumped, dude. Black and White 2 music. God, they do so many things right in that soundtrack. It's hard for me to even break down why this one's so good. One thing I've touched on many of these themes is the percussion in the background, and the drums do such a better job of like filling with the rest of the song instead of just being on their own thing the entire time. Like, it's just, oh god, it's so good. Oh, this is almost in a tier of its own. Almost. This is almost in a tier of its own for me. This is so good. God damn. It is a vast improvement over the original. I like the original, but holy shit. The Neo Team. Listen to this part. Oh, God. That is so good. That might be the easiest S tier of my life. On any tier list. I don't know if anything else is even going to compare. I'm going to be dead ass. There's 4 more themes. These aren't even supposed to be here. There's 4 more themes to rank, and like, I don't think anything else is even going to come close. From what I remember from these ones, I don't think anything is going to. God damn, that theme is so good. Holy shit. It's always unfortunate that Gen 6 themes have to go right after Black and White 2 themes in these, because like I tend to like the Black and White 2 theme significantly more than whatever the Gen 6 theme does. But let's see. X and Y Team Flare theme starting. It's not bad. I don't even know how I feel about this one. It's so hard. This one is really hard for me to rank. This one does some really cool stuff, and it does a really good job of like having that like sinister sort of like evil team feeling to it, honestly. Like the tone and like feel of the song does a good job. My only issue with it really is that like it doesn't really have much of like a melodic like flow to it. Like this one isn't necessarily catchy in my opinion. This one I think is going to end up in solid bop for me. It's pretty solid and it does a good job. Honestly, it might be above. I might have to come back to that. I'm going to put it for now in the middle of solid bop. I feel really weird about that one because I like it and I also don't. It's so weird. And I don't know how to explain why that is. But it's a neat theme. It's got some cool ideas going on in it that are pretty different from the rest of them. The next theme is Team Skull's battle theme from Sun and Moon. This one I would say is a classic, but it's a pretty, it's a pretty modern Pokemon one, but yeah. This one's interesting. This one is very interesting. I feel like I have a lot to say about this one. The Team Skull battle theme, I would say it's probably the most, like, close to the personality of the evil team it's supposed to represent. Like, it feels like Team Skull. Like, it's just like, Team Skull is very, like, kind of like, eh. And this song is very, like, you know, it just fits. It fits really well. I think my only issue is that some of the ideas they have in this theme stick around just a little bit longer than they need to. When the song kind of like goes down, it stays there for a while. Like everything you're hearing right now, it just kind of stays in this mode for a little too long, but not like horribly long. I still think it's a really solid theme. I think this is funky chonky. I kind of like the musical ideas better in the Heart Gold Soul Silver Team Rocket theme, but I think the Team Skull theme is actually better. Overall, like as a Grunt theme, I think it's a little better. So the next one, second to last one we have today, is the Aether Foundation battle theme. This one's doing a lot. There's so much happening in this theme. Oh my god. Dude, I'm stun locked from this theme. I don't even know how to rank this. It's a really, really cool theme. I love so many of these ideas, but my issue is that there's almost too much going on. Like for a Grunt battle theme, this is a little too much for me. This feels like a theme that should be used for like a specific legendary or something, you know? Like it feels like it should be for something more like chaotic than just like fighting someone random in the Aether Foundation, you know? It's hard to, it's almost like it's too good for the role that it has in the game. It's, oh man, I don't even, but then I don't even know how to rate it because it's still like a cool song. Is it just solid bop? Like, I feel like that's kind of where it would like average out to. I don't know, man. It's purely just because I don't feel like it should be a Grunt battle theme. It feels too like, there's too much going on for it to be like a, like one of the reasons I was praising some of these other ones is because it's really catchy. It's not trying to do too much. And you're going to listen to it a bunch of times. So these themes, I feel like you're not going to get sick of as much at the top. This Aether Foundation one, listening to it like once or twice through, I'm like, this would be really cool. But having to hear this like sort of chaotic theme every time you're fighting someone, like, I don't know if I could do that. I think I'll leave it in solid bop. Let's take a listen to Team Yell and we'll go from there. This one's got a lot going on. It's like it's almost giving me like mid 2000s PS2 game. Like it's hard to explain. It almost feels like something I hear in like a Dragon Ball Z game, like a fighting game or something. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna change the green one to doesn't feel like a Grunt theme. That's what I'm changing that one to, because I'm gonna put both of these in there. Neither of them are bad themes, although this Team Yell one I don't like as much as the Aether Foundation one. There's too much happening, which I guess kind of goes with the whole Team Yell part. There's just a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. Too many ideas there. I really think that they nailed it music-wise with like the simplicity and catchiness of like those Gen 4 and 5 Grunt themes, where there wasn't too much going on, but they was really well done. These ones, it's like they were trying to just like expand on, which in some cases, in like the Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield games, like some of their music tracks are insanely good. Like I promise these are not here just because I don't like the games themselves, because I think the music in Sword and Shield is great most of the time. And same thing with Sun and Moon. I think the music in both of those games are pretty excellent. And they usually rank fairly high on these tier lists. But in this case, I just don't really love them for what they're supposed to be for. If they were used differently, especially the Aether Foundation one, if this one was used differently, it would rank higher. The Team Yell one just doesn't even really feel like a Pokemon song, to be honest with you. Again, these are admin themes, so we're not listening. These are just here because of True Green 7, who made the tier list. Thanks, True Green. I don't know why these are here. I mean, I guess that's the list. I mean, honestly, I'm glad that none of them had to end up in not pleasing to my ears. I'm glad that they all ended up in like, you know, a tier above that. None of them were bad. It's probably the first time we've done a tier list like this where like not a single one was just like super underwhelming. Overall, pretty successful tier list, I would say. I'm really happy with these rankings. I think the solid bops could probably be moved around a little bit, but I think the ones in this tier are solely kind of based on your own preferences of where you would put them in the tier. Good tier list though. Good tier list. That was fun. That was a good one.